And there's a little bit of uncertainty on H-1Bs. I think if it goes through, it will have a big effect, but I'm still trying to play out all of the chess strategy here. The change is really interesting because it's something that Trump announced a few weeks ago, but it's also in Biden's campaign platform. It's part of his immigration platform for the new administration, and it's specifically about H-1Bs. And they both want, or stated previously, that they want to change the H-1B from a random lottery into a wage-based allocation, from highest relative salary to lowest relative salary for the individual compared to the profession in that geography. So
some of the other panelists seem to emphasize this a break from the Trump administration to the Biden administration, and I don't, of course, as a partisan, of course, I think there's a big difference. But on international economic policy, I'm not so convinced. And this huge foreign exchange market and the dollar-euro exchange, those two currencies together trade about $1.5 trillion a day. And so what seems to drive it is much bigger than who sits in the White House. I would think in big picture terms, something like this, that the US, the dollar, has had 3 big rallies since the end of Bretton Woods. While every country in Europe has a budget deficit, the Eurozone has a trade surplus. China, budget deficit, trade surplus. Japan, same thing, budget deficit, trade surplus. The US, budget deficit and a trade deficit.
So one thing, actually, I think surprised a lot of people about 3 weeks ago is the signing of the RCEP, free trade agreement. And in RCEP, is basically the free trade area consisting, the 10 Asian countries, as well as China, Japan, Korea, Australia, and New Zealand. Right? They together, account for over 30% of global GDP, and this is the biggest trading bloc in history. So, when you look at, the sort of, anti, globalization, sentiment in both the U.S. and also in Europe, what we are seeing is that, globalization, is still, on the way, but perhaps, takes, different routes. And, one interesting thing, regarding this is that, the signing of the RCEP, is when you look at Australia, right? Australia and China now, the diplomatic relationship between the two countries, is probably at a historical low. But countries, they joined the RCEP, despite that. And
I think we are currently seeing a very aggressive swing into digital, which is, in the short run, healthy for the solution providers for digital communication. But I'm saying in the short run because I think we're seeing an equal fatigue with some of the tools that are being offered, where people are remembering how important it is to be physical. And that, see, all of our intelligence and our identity as human beings is not just the wetware up here and the set of eyes and the mouth that can talk. This is an essential part of our livelihood as well as our productivity, is to be physical. And we have yet to see another swing into the direction of hybrid technologies that allow more physical, digital hybrid solutions.